This morning we continue our efforts to support such an important organization, City Harvest, and its Hunger Action Month campaign. Chef and advocate Andrew Zimmern, all about spreading the word.
Yes, indeed. So he joins us now to talk about really an incredible concert benefiting City Harvest. He's also going to share a few game day recipes for this weekend's New York Jets home opener. So good morning, Chef. Good to see you.
Good morning. Great to see you, too.
I got to tell you, I'm looking at that fried chicken, and it's making us
Looks
hungry.
good.
So let's dive into it. Football season has kicked off. The Giants played at home last week, and the Jets home opener is this Sunday. You're sharing recipes for some game day dishes. So what are you cooking up?
Well, we have thousands of recipes, but hundreds of game day recipes on our website at andrewzimmern.com. But this is pretty typical of something I'll put out really fast for my friends coming over. Fried chicken is easy to make the day beforehand. It's great to come out of the fridge about 2 hours before your friends arrive. Let it come to room temperature and let everybody dive in. In keeping with our hunger awareness issues, this is my curried lentil soup.
Oh.
I always, it's cold here in Minnesota, so I always like to have a pot of soup, put out some coffee mugs for people to fill up with. But a curried lentil soup like this has all the nutrition that a body needs over the course of a day for anywhere between 25 and 45 cents a pound, depending a portion, depending on what vegetables you put in. And down here at the end, don't skimp on the sides. They're really easy. Homemade coleslaw, homemade potato salad is healthy and nutritious, and it does a body good. But this is the issue is that not everybody can afford to even count on being to eat on game day. That's it's become a privilege in this country when you have 25% of Americans living in hunger.
Yeah, and so that's why you're kind of making these budget friendly as well, right? So kind of walk us through. I know you went through what you have there, but a lot of people are saying, well, what is the recipe for fried chicken? What do you put in it? What are the ingredients here?
Well, I buttermilk brine mine and then put it in a simple flour batter. Just to, I season that flour very heavily. I make sure that I salt my poultry beforehand. I use the paper bag method, so I can do a lot of pieces at once. And then I do fry in lard because I find that, it tastes better to me.
What is lard? Is it butter?
Oh, don't worry, it's fat-free.
Lard is animal fat. Rendered. You can buy lard in the grocery store in 1 pound blocks. It's reusable. I strain it through a coffee filter. And people always say to me, well, what's the secret to your fried chicken? And I'm like, well, a big cast iron, enough salt, and lard. And it is an indulgence.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I don't recommend for optimum health eating fried chicken every day.
Well, yeah.
But certainly having a couple pieces on a day like Sunday, if you get your steps in, is not gonna kill you.
Especially a nice, crisp, juicy piece of chicken, which makes me question, because you said make it the day before, put it in the refrigerator, then set it out and let it, kind of get to room temperature. But don't you lose the crisp when it comes to that if it's not made fresh?
You can. It depends on what your preference is. If crisp is something that you're after, then you may want to batter in something that's more in the Korean style with potato starch and tapioca flour combined, right? That crisp glass shattering edge is not going to disappear, whether it goes in the fridge or comes out, gives everybody that nice crunch.
Okay.
Part of what makes food fun is to have it be convenient. At 10, 11, 11:30, 12, I don't want to be standing in front of the fryer and then cleaning everything up. I want to be sitting on the couch with the dog, waiting for my friends to come home, setting my fantasy team.
Yeah. And by the way, I just want to talk about the important work you're doing for City Harvest, because you're one of many chefs who support City Harvest. Why is it so important for you to be part of their Hunger Action Month?
Because I think hunger has gone in America from a national embarrassment to a shameful situation to a criminal situation. And I continue to use the word, it approaches a genocidal issue. And the reason is that we know that we are underserving and creating a hunger environment for children, for seniors, for the incarcerated, anywhere the public dollar meets food, for all those who are poor, for the extra 20% of the impoverished who fell from just above the poverty line to just below it. So if we know that essentially 25% of Americans are hungry, not food insecure, hungry, and we have plenty of food in the richest, greatest nation in the history of planet Earth, if we know that and we're still not using all the tools in our tool bag to feed them, then it is de facto a genocidal situation. People don't like hearing that word, but why is there one hungry child in America? Why is there one?
Well, and
Why is there
especially,
one?
Chef, after all the food that we throw away, right? You go to a buffet, you go to any, and just all that food on those plates that we just don't use.
Well, this is why City Harvest is such an important organization, because their focus is food rescue. In other words, they gather that food and redistribute it. You know, I do believe, you know, my greatest desire, and I'm on the advisory council for City Harvest, is to have them go away and be out of business. You know, if there was no need for them to exist, it would mean that everyone was fed.
Yeah.
We need a national food secretary at the cabinet level. We need real governance. We need real laws to make sure that we have a national school program so all kids are fed for free in schools, breakfast, lunch, and dinner if they need it. We need to start there, and we need to start knocking down all of these tent poles. You know, the people that need the warm hug that food gets the most are the ones that we are underserving. City Harvest, it took them 33 years to get to 500 million pounds of food rescued. And it took them just the last couple of years to get to 1 billion pounds. Just to show you what the need is, it's astronomical.
Yeah, well, I think they found their national secretary right there with you.
You did a great job, Chef.
Thank you so much for being here and for really shedding some light. The food looks fantastic. For details, by the way, about the concert benefiting City Harvest, go to cityharvest.org/Hunger Action Month. But Chef, I want to bring in the team right now because I have a question for you. You know, we talked about this whole Joey Chestnut entering the pork roll eating contest over in New Jersey. You know, the big debate, pork roll versus Taylor ham. I heard you're the expert on this.
He's the guru.
Please set the record straight.
There used to be many brands of pork roll. It was invented just after the Civil War when they found a way to take salty meats that were preserved, ground them, and encase them in a canvas bag, and they would set with the fat. There used to be many brands. Now there's one, Taylor ham. So like Kleenex, it has become synonymous.
Taylor ham is a brand.
Taylor ham is pork roll. It used to be not all pork roll was Taylor ham, but that is the case today. So calling it Taylor ham is what we need.
The brand. That's what
I will say this. In a country where we can't feed 25% of our population, I find the eating for sport a little distasteful, but I leave that up to the individual to deal with.
Right.
All right, Chef.
I hear you.
Thanks for setting the record
Well, thanks for giving us the history lesson, too, on
Yeah.
pork roll. I mean, I didn't know about that.
Thank you very much.
Good stuff and great work with City Harvest.